Mitt namn är Andvet.
My name is Andvet, and together with my brothers Kor, Kiti, Bläse and Järv, I have laid a stone in memorial of my father, Gunlev. On a voyage many years ago, he set sail together with many others of our villagers. A total 30 ships were under the command of Ingvar the far-travelled and set sail to the east to find happiness and prosperity. The voyage took them to Gårdriken Holmgård, then south toward Kiev. After a long stay with Yaroslav the Wise, they set sail far, far east. We learned that during the voyage they met dragons, giants, pirates, kings and queens, and fought many battles. A while ago we received sad tidings from the crew of the Soul ship to return. Father, alongside Ingvar, and almost all the crew members had lost their lives in the plague of Serkland. We have long awaited news and have been anxious. It is certain that many stones will be laid for those who perished on the long journey. Many sons, fathers and brothers will not return to their families. Us brothers have chosen to lay our stones here on the headlands of Varpsund. Here it will be visible for all, both at sea and on land, for generations to come. 2 routes pass by here. The waterway from Lake Mälaren that continues towards Ekholm and Uppsala, and the road that passes by the royal estate of Håtuna and Skoklosterlandet. Alrik the rune master has helped us to carve the runes. His fee was steep, which should be the case for our tribute to be seen and lost.
This is a story of Andvet and his life as it might have been. Runestones such as Andvet spoke of were placed at locations where 2 or more waterways or roads met, and in other places where many travellers passed. Andvet's father took part in Ingvar the Far-Travelled's Viking expedition to Serkland in the late 1030s. His life and travels are depicted in the Icelandic saga about him. It contains information that could hold some relevance for the 30-plus runestones in Mälardalen, which honor men that followed Ingvar eastwards and never returned. Ingvar was a Viking chief from Mälardalen, who, with an estimated 30 ships and some 500 to 1,000 men, sailed down the Dnieper River to the Black Sea and on to what we today call Georgia. There he spent the winter at the court of the Queen. In the spring, Ingvar and his men continued east. They reached the Caspian Sea, where they traded successfully and acquired great wealth. Thereafter, Ingvar and his men returned the same way they came and found themselves in the midst of conflict between the Imperial Byzantine and Georgian troops. The Vikings' efforts on the Georgian side are described in Georgian sources, including information that they lost the battles. Most returned to the Black Sea coast, but there they suffered from a severe epidemic, probably dysentery. Ingvar himself fell ill, and shortly before his death handed over command to Gårda Kjetil. At this point only 12 ships remained. There was a disagreement and the group split up. With great hardship, Gårda Kjetil and a few of the remaining ships continued to Kiev and Russia, while the other ships sailed on to Constantinople. Gårda Kjetil returned home and spoke of what had happened, handing over much of the spoils and Ingvar's estate to Ingvar's son, Sven. He then continued to Iceland, where he settled. The story of the eastward journey became myth and legend, which has survived to this day under the name of Ingvar the Far-Travelled Saga. For the Norsemen, the Viking Age was a period of vast expansion. With their well-developed ships, they could travel great distances. The Viking expeditions eastwards were embarked upon with smaller ships that could be taken south along Russian rivers. They were more trade expeditions than raids. The Viking expeditions to the east, however, are not as well known as those to the west, as the majority of the people of Eastern Europe were illiterate and sources are few.